Welcome back, everyone, to Brilliant Minds, Brains, Banter, and Being Human. I'm Olivia, and this is my loveliest of friends.
Andrea, hello. We kind of just got started.
I gave Andrea no warning and hit the record button. Whoops, not great impulse control today. But as always, remember that we are off the clock, we are prowling the streets, and we cannot be bothered.
For real. The number
I'm
of
not
times
wrong.
I've called myself unserious this week cannot be topped. So,
Honestly, one of my favorite new caveats that I give to people is like, hey, I want to be clear, I am not a medical professional. I'm also barely a professional. However,
correct. Correct.
because how many times do you have to give the caveat of
Yeah.
like, I'm not a medical professional. And what I do know is,
Yes.
and I just
Correct.
figure everyone's so tired of hearing me say that I had to like figure out a joke about it.
No, I like it. I like it a lot.
It also, oddly enough, relates to what we're talking about today, which is like, what are the weird things about being a therapist? And I also think this is a very ironic topic because we talk a lot about weird therapists
Yeah.
and how we are weird therapist prevention or
Yep.
anti-weird therapists. But also recognizing there's like some weird things that come up as a
Yeah.
therapist that other people in other jobs or just like other people don't think about or might not think about.
Yeah. Totally. And I'm glad we're talking about this topic too, because I recently started watching the show Shrinking with my husband again. And I don't know, have you seen this show?
No, I've heard a little bit about it, but I haven't
Oh,
seen it.
it's really interesting, and watching it as a therapist has got me like thinking a lot about the weirdness of being a therapist and the weirdness of like some of the things that we can and cannot do, and just like all of the things that make our job really fucking weird.
Right, like having to give a caveat that I'm not a medical professional all of the time.
Right, but we take insurance. Like, how does that make sense?
Or like we know what we're talking about when we talk about
Right.
mental health medication. You're like, well, I'm not a medical professional, but like that medication is whack and you
Yeah.
should go back to your
Yeah,
doctor.
right. Like, I had to make the
Get that
caveat.
checked.
So I know I'm not your psych. However, that med you should probably take at night. Like,
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, I'm wondering what it would be like if you took that with a meal.
right? Like, hold on. Let's think about this.
Oh my gosh, so real.
Yeah.
I think to me, one of the most obvious things that's weird about being a therapist is our goodbye to clients.
Ooh, what goodbye? Like ending, like forever goodbye, or like end of the day goodbye? Like end of the session goodbye.
Both. But specific, that's a fair question. I was like,
I know.
how many
I threw you
goodbyes
off
are
with
there?
that.
I was like, what? Am I supposed to be doing more goodbyes? Please don't
God,
tell me
no.
that. God, no. No, I'm talking about the like theoretical forever goodbye.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's weird.
It is really weird. I think the part that like I think about that's connected to that is like, well then why can't we go get margaritas next week?
Right.
Like I don't know what else to say, but it's like we build these really intense intimate relationships that are for the most part like one-sided. But
Yeah, I mean,
right?
yes. Yeah,
And then when
as
we
they should.
yeah, exactly. And then when we get to the end, we're just like, okay, just go live your life now. And okay.
Yeah, it's the weirdest. There's not a goodbye that's like it.
No.
I mean, other than maybe like saying goodbye to a loved one and then they die.
Yeah, but we could come back. Essentially, like,
Actually, therapy Jesus. But I
there
hear what you're
isn't.
saying. But I hear what you're saying is like there's this idea that like clients could come back and like there oftentimes they do, but there's so many times that they don't and like you never hear of that person ever
Yeah.
again.
yeah,
And like that was goodbye.
yeah.
But
Or-
you don't know. But you don't know if they're going to come
Exactly.
back. So you have to
Exactly.
treat every goodbye like ending out of therapy. Like it's a real like forever
Yeah.
goodbye.
Like, you don't even say goodbye to like a PCP that you're ending with. Like, that's not even a thing.
Yeah, there's not a goodbye like it.
No. And I even remember, like, back when I lived in a small town and did in person work, I like said goodbye to someone and I knew it was going to be forever. And then like I moved away and then went back to visit, went through a drive-through and there they were. And I was like, how? Like that is so weird because it's like, well, I've grieved this like goodbye and we've said our goodbyes and we're never going to see each other again. And then I order coffee from you.
That's so bad. See?
Yeah.
The goodbye is so weird because it's like such an intensely like personal relationship and you hold so much space and you care so much about that client.
Yeah.
And you have to say a forever goodbye. Like, never knowing if they're going to be okay, never knowing how things go for them, never getting like really any update. Right. And you have like, you should not, and this typically doesn't happen though, sometimes it does, but like, you should not be reaching out to them. Like, correct. You cannot initiate anything. So you're just correct. Like left in the dark. I mean, like the client could be dead. We have no idea.
No,
we have no idea.
No. And I'll put this out there too. Like, I don't know if you're this way, but I know I am. Every once in a while, I'll think about a client that I saw way back in the day, just like randomly. And I'll be like, I hope they're doing well.
Yeah.
Or like, they really could be dead. Like,
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that all the time. I also think that too because in my old job, I was doing like home visits around the county that I live in. And anytime I'm around some home that I went to, I always think, now, okay, I was working with older adults, so it's very safe to assume like, oh, I'm thinking of that person. They're probably dead. That's actually like,
yes,
probably really accurate, sadly, but like true.
Yes.
But I think every time I pass, it's like, boom, remember that conversation, remember that person. I can't remember names. Like,
nope. No, same.
But like, I can remember their story. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's so bizarre because I'm just like, you know, even if my spouse is in the car, I can't be like, oh yeah, I visited, blah, blah. I can't say that.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh,
that's another weird thing, right? Is
yes,
that we hold these stories in. Like, we don't talk to people about them other than like colleagues or like our supervisors or people within our jobs, right? But even then, when you're in private practice, you're not talking about your clients or like around, or you shouldn't be, you know, like you and I do occasionally, but we're colleagues, right? But we're not, you know, if we see something out in nature, we're not gonna be like, oh, that reminds me of so-and-so, like to our partners, like,
right.
No.
Or even like, I wouldn't even say like, oh, that reminds me of like a client. I wouldn't even say that. Like, I wouldn't even say like a generalization either.
Correct.
Because that would be weird.
Yeah.
But having that experience is weird. So like the whole thing all the way around is bizarre.
And you don't want to be like, I don't know, I don't even really know an example, but it's come up where I see something and I think about a client or we pass by and like I want to say something. I want to be like, oh, that looks familiar. But like, can't even really do that because then the person next to you is going to be like, well, why? Like, tell me why. Like, have you been here before? And you're like, no.
In my mind.
In my mind. On a computer, maybe. I don't know. Like,
it is so bizarre. I'll go different places or I'll like, I don't know, like consume different media or I can't even think of a good example.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have this so random. I have this song that every once in a while I'll listen to, and it's one of those songs when you're like kind of in your feels-ish. And like this song always makes me think of someone in particular that I worked with. I have no idea why. I have no idea why I've associated this song with this person.
That's so funny.
So random. Every time I hear that song, I think of that person. I'm like, man, like,
yeah.
I hope they're doing okay.
Restaurant recommendations is something that I experience. Where like
that you give or that you receive?
That I receive. Like,
I give.
I mean, I've given two, but not nearly as much.
Only two?
I didn't say two. I give. Not the number. I give two. Like I was.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was like, I've given two. I'm like, that's really specific. No, only two. Wow.
No, I've also given. Got
it.
But receiving is funny because I'll be like, oh, I found this place. Like, not, you know, oh, my client told me about this place. Like, I'm sure that's fine, but it is like one of those weird boundaries. And I'm also sure, like, if anybody's ever been to therapy, usually your therapist is supposed to say, like, if we see each other out in public, like, if you live in the same area, I can't say hi to you, but you can say hi to me and I won't introduce who I'm with or whatever. Like, our little spiels end up being, that's weird too.
Right. Yeah, what's weird is like having to prep the people around you
Yes.
on like, hey, if I say don't ask questions, don't
Mm-hmm.
ask questions. Now, okay,
Yeah.
it is weird. It's weird. But we've covered this in a previous podcast episode. Growing up, I wanted to be like a detective FBI agent.
Mm-hmm.
This is the closest I feel to a spy, is being like, don't ask me questions.
I like that reframe.
Now it's weird. It is weird, but
Yeah.
like that's my like it makes
Yeah.
me feel mysterious, and I like that.
I like
I know
that.
people that you don't know, and I ain't gonna say shit about it.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. I am curious. Did you ever have a conversation with your husband like early on in your career about that and be like, so here's the boundary? Like, did you ever have to have that or do that?
This is a really like I don't know how much I can actually talk about it on the podcast, but I had a
See? Weird. We have a weird job.
okay. This is what I had. An old coworker taught me this phrase. This was called an AFGE, another fucking growth experience.
Okay. I like it.
And I had, and I was in my internship and my master's,
Mhm.
and I had a like really stressful day at my internship. I had like a really big client issue come up, and I was like having trouble processing it. And I came home, and I told my spouse, I was like, oh yeah, like there was this issue, and there was this person oversharing, and like it was really stressful, and I didn't know what to do, and like had to get a supervisor and all this stuff. He's like, oh wow, okay, blah blah blah. And then like 2 days later, we went to church and that person was like 3 rows in front of us. And I realized that if she looked up and recognized me, she would come up and overshare and my spouse would know exactly who I was talking about. And I was like,
AFG.
I cannot believe. And I was like, hey, we need to go. And he was like, what? I was like, no questions. We need to go. He was like, kind of like looked at me and I was like, gave him the stare. And he like got up and we left. And he was like, what was that? And I was like, hey, do you remember what I do for work? He was like, yeah. And I was like, if I say we need to go, we need to go. And he was like, okay, message received. I was like, thank you. We are leaving now. So we did have the conversation, but after an experience.
Funny. Yeah.
And it was a little embarrassing. So I was like, wow, I cannot believe I fell for that. That was so stupid of me. I really I felt so dumb. I was like, it was right there, Olivia. Like, could you freaking idiot?
Yeah. See, like, those are the things that are weird. Like,
And so many people I know, like, even that I've supervised, I don't know what you would say, but like, they don't think to have that conversation ahead of time. And so it's not until like after and then they're like, oh my gosh, like, well, by now having this conversation with my like loved one, whatever, now I'm like basically identifying that client because now I'm having the conversation as a reaction versus like, proactively.
I remember having the conversation with my husband proactively, but there was a reason why, and I honestly couldn't tell you why. I want to say that he was asking me. Like, I think he was genuinely curious about it, and so we talked about it, which I'm really grateful for. Like, I'm grateful that he, like, was curious. But
and
it was like...
step in it like I did.
Yeah. But it was a weird conversation because, you know, if we ran into his colleagues out in the wild, it's just like, oh yeah, this is my wife. Like, here you go. And I can do that with my colleagues, but with like it's
like you could give like half an introduction, right? You could be like, "Oh, this is my spouse," blah blah blah.
Right.
But you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You couldn't do the whole thing.
No. But then
so
he's
weird.
more likely to be like, "Okay, what was that?" Like, because he's gonna pick up on that, and then I can't be like, "No questions."
Yeah. It almost makes me feel like we should have like instead of just like no questions, just have like a work specific safe word.
Oh my gosh. Actually, though.
I have a idea.
What?
Wiener.
Done. Sold. Okay. We will share this with the partners.
Yeah.
Some of
just
my
scream wiener in public.
Some of my favorite Instagram videos done by therapists are like the funny ones where they're like at a grocery store and when you see a client in public and it's just the like back and forth. Oh, they crack me up every time because I'm like, yeah, that is correct.
Yeah, I sometimes have to like almost mentally. This is another weird thing. When I go out, I don't really go out just like by myself. I'm usually out with my daughter, and so I'm in a
Right.
totally different mindset. But I kind of have to like do a tiny bit, not like all the. It's not a super active thing, but I have to like tiny bit have in the back of my mind like, hey, if you see a client in public, do not double take. Like, you
Yep.
dum dum. Like, keep it
Yeah.
together because the double take is
Yeah.
what I'm trying not to do. But I know that if I don't like actively try to remember that, I will double take.
Yeah. Well, and
Because that's what you like humanly do when you see
Right.
somebody you think you know.
Exactly. Exactly. It's really challenging. Like, I think for the first couple years of my career too, where I was living in particular, I would run into clients all the time, which was one of the reasons why I left because it was overwhelming. And
Fair.
there were circumstances where I would run into clients in situations where I was like, you should not be here and I need to go. And I just like couldn't, and they never noticed me, but I couldn't really like bring it up. Like, what am I supposed to say?
Right. That's weird.
Yeah. This is weird.
It is.
One of the
Why
things
is it so weird?
One of the things that the show Shrinking is like bringing up for me. So in the show, the primary character, he starts doing this like therapy method that he calls jimmying, and his name is Jimmy. So like they turned his name into, what is that, a verb?
Yes.
Whatever. Yeah. Which is like he takes his client out to go do like MMA to like process anger and like emotion. And in my head, I'm like, that makes sense. I would love to do that. But can we? No.
No.
That's genius. Like being able to walk a client out to like, another thing he does is take a client out to like spread their mom's ashes because they like struggled with that. It's like, yes, that makes sense. But can we? Nope.
Yeah. It's also like the fact that you can't look up a client on the
Ugh.
internet or like social media.
The way that I want to do that so badly.
For so many people. Yup. But you can't.
Now,
Well, you shouldn't. You
No.
shouldn't.
No, and I have had people like show me in session.
Their social media.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like, I don't know, show me pictures of family or friends and like, but that's their own prerogative. Like, I'm not going out and searching that.
Although you're like morbidly curious because I'm also morbidly curious.
Right? Or if they own a business, I want to be like, well, what's your business? I want to look up your art. I want to read your fan fiction.
Right.
I want to consume the coloring books that you create.
I know. I mean, the other thing is like even on a base level, I'm just like curious like how they present online.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just interesting.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But you can't.
Nope.
That's like
Nope.
a total breach of privacy.
Yeah.
Which is why you can't. But it's weird. You like know so
Yeah.
much about them, but like not their social media.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's nothing saying that they can't look us up either, which is super weird.
Right, yeah.
Like, I think that would be strange to do. Like, if I was a client, but I would want to do it. And I for sure would do it. But it is why a lot of us keep things like very private.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I would be like kind of like for funsies would want to like look up my therapist, but I don't really think I'd like actually I don't think I actually would.
No, I don't think I would too. Yeah, I don't think I would. Just because I think, I mean, I am a therapist too, so I would be like, oh, this just feels weird.
Well, I know there's that part, but like I don't know.
I will admit this. I did look up one of my old therapists like years after we stopped seeing each other.
And what did you find?
Nothing.
Ugh.
They went ghost. Like even their therapy pages were gone.
Like without a trace.
Yeah,
Rough.
very weird.
Yeah, I can't think of a time when I don't think I've ever looked anybody up on social media. I've wanted to, especially like ones that like clients I worked with for a while, and then like we had our theoretical forever goodbye.
Yeah. I wonder I wonder if that reason, because we can't do it with clients, is why I'm really good at it for other people.
Good at finding things.
I am so good at diving
I
deep
think
on
that's just a
randos.
part of being a white woman. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of white women are really good at stalking people online.
I am a really good FBI Facebook investigator.
A lot of people I know are who are good at that are just all white women. I don't know. Like I get it's a skill, but like it feels like a pretty common one. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my background is like in case management, the type of case management I did, I know how to go real deep, and it's probably not great, but I can.
Yeah, so fun story. A little bit of a tangent, but I'll try to keep it quick.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to find information on my like next door neighbor because he's like really weird and reclusive. And I like tried to find some stuff. I like could not find anything. Family member used to work at CPS. Wow, did she find a lot of stuff in like 45 minutes. It was insane. It was like, oh, do you want to know his like high school football record? And I was like,
Yeah.
what? I'm sorry. What? And just like, I was like, okay, I thought I was like, had some skill, but okay, clearly that's your thing. Okay, cool.
That's kind of the level that I'm at.
Yeah, that's why I bring it up because I'm like, wow, that's sobering. Cool. I did have one time where a client, this is like back when I was like a couple years into the field, so this a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
And I was like working a lot with this couple, lovely couple, probably dead. I'm sorry. That's my only way to cope with it. They're probably dead. I'm sorry.
Yours for sure. For sure.
I wish that wasn't so, but like they were chain smokers and they were in their like late 70s.
It was the nature of the work that you did at that time.
Yeah, like I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, super lovely. Worked with them for a long time considering like the work that I was doing was usually like pretty short term. Well, actually like very short term. Usually I work with people for like a month or two maybe, and I worked with them for like 5-6 months. Anyways, so we were like ending and they were like really sad to end, and I was sad to end too because they were great. And one of the last times I went to see them, also ironically they lived like 5 minutes away from my house, so that was you know funny. But I was like, oh, I won't see you because you can't leave your apartment because you're old. Woo. Anyways, and she's like, I found you on Facebook, and I was like, oh. She goes, and your husband, nice job. I was like,
I don't know what to say.
I was like, thanks. What else do you say?
Yeah.
But there was only one other time where a client like openly admitted that they had like searched me out or like tried to find me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, did you find anything good? That's usually what I say.
I love that. Yeah.
like what? Like it's kind of joking, but like kind of not. It's like, okay, well, did you find anything good? Like, did you find what you wanted to find? I mean, I don't know. It's weird.
It's really weird.
When you have a client congratulate you on your like spouse of choice.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that one.
Didn't you have the same thing?
I didn't have a client do that. I've had supervisees do that. Yeah.
Still like,
which is like still a little odd, but
yeah, better than a client.
But I've had some like photography crossover, which I feel like makes sense for that, but like not as much as I think people would expect. Like less than one crossover a year. Like, and I've been doing photography for 10 years and been licensed for 8. So like that's way less than 8. Like,
yeah, that's pretty good. Those are pretty good odds. That's fair. When like something's happening in a client's life, like at an event or a thing or something on like a specific day of the week, and then on that day of the week, like they're on your mind, and you just like can't talk about it, or like you want to know, you want to check in, or you like a client's like really on your mind, and like there's nothing you can do about it. You just like get to think about them. Hate that.
Yeah. It can be really hard sometimes. Like,
yeah,
with that. And I know a lot of our job is supporting people in being able to do the hard thing, right? Or supporting people in being able to get through the hard thing. And I get that. But there's so many times I want to be like, how was the hard thing? Tell me how it went. Like, like,
Yeah.
are
Oh,
you good?
yeah, 100%. Yeah. I even like found myself more recently because I like loosened up a little bit is like wanting to send like a birthday email
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be like, well,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I should because that kind of creates
Yeah.
obligation to like say thank you, and that's kind of
Yeah.
weird.
Would you say happy birthday in session? Like if the birthday
Absolutely.
had been okay, same.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
I'm like,
I do that. Oh
yeah,
yeah, 100%. It's more of the like taking the time to send a like separate message to
yeah,
them. I'm like, yeah,
yeah.
that's
Well,
probably not.
and I'm usually pretty mindful if it's a new client. I'll ask like, how do you feel about your birthday? Like, is happy birthday something that like you feel comfortable with me saying? And a lot of the times they're like, yeah, that's fine, that's great. Like,
Yeah.
but it's very rare, and I'm usually pretty mindful when people don't want it. So, and even then, tell me that you don't want it, and that'll be fine. Like, okay.
Yeah.
But it's weird. And then they don't usually know when our birthdays are.
Right. Weird.
Unfortunately, I think a lot of my clients, because they're long term, do know when my birthday is because I always take it off and it's at the end of the year. And they're always like, well, why do you take that week off? And I'm like, well, because it's the end of the year. And then I'm like, well, and it's my birthday.
Like I was gonna say, do your clients really not know when your birthday is? Because I was like, you kind of start talking about your birthday like December 1st.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, one part of that is because I take the entire week off, and then two, because it sucks. So,
I don't fault you. I just think it's like I just think it's funny because I actually have a couple clients that have birthdays around mine,
yeah.
and so they're like always talking about their birthdays, and like there are parts of me on the inside I'm like, talk about your birthday too, but like I don't even care about my birthday. Like it's like there'd be no point for me to bring it up other than to be like, I also have a birthday. Like there's no point, but like inside I'm like, you have a birthday too.
It's so weird. I think
right.
I posted something on our Instagram today that was like the things that are going on in your therapist's head as you're talking. And I thought about that and I was like, well, I say some weird shit in my head as people are talking, but also it's like at least I have full-blown dialogues as somebody's talking in order to talk to them when they stop talking.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't take notes, so it's just happening. And like every once in a while, I'll take a note just to like, so that I don't forget, especially if there's a lot of information. But that's so strange. Like to sit and think about that now is like one of the things that we do where it's like, oh, I'm going to pin that and come back to it later. That's really bad. Make sure to mention abuse next time.
Because you don't do that in any other context. I mean, like, I don't. I don't do that in any other context.
No. Especially with ADHD friends where we just like ping pong back and forth.
Literally.
Yeah. It's
like, what?
The self-control that I exist.
The impulse control, 100%. I mean, that's a lot of things. Yes, it's impulse control. But also it's like the amount of mental tracking that you're doing is like insane.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, like I had somebody recently talk about how they really like to work with couples. Never in a million billion times work with couples.
Not Olivia's thing, y'all. Not Olivia's thing.
And so they were asking me like, well, what makes you say that? Like you just don't like couples. And I was like, well, I mean like, yes, in part, but I was more saying like, I could do couples. I could work with couples. I know myself well enough to know that it would take so much mental capacity to hold two different perspectives and sides of the story and to try to be as neutral as possible and to hold all that. It would take so much work for me. Really to me, I feel like it would be the equivalent of like 5 individual clients at least.
Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah,
like,
that's
like one couple would at least be like 5 individual clients to me. And it's like, that's not worth it.
That's kind of how I like guide my supervisees that see couples through that is I'm like, you have to remember that a couple client is like 4 clients in an hour. If one client is a lot, a couple is like 3 times that.
Right. Yeah. And I'm like, I could, but like, I don't want to. Like, I feel like my capacity is way better served just like working with a bunch of individuals.
Right. Right. It's another one of these like weird things in our career that's like we actually are working. Like we're not just sitting here listening to people gab and like provide the tea. Like sometimes, yeah, but we're also sitting there constantly thinking, constantly reframing or identifying things and pinning things. It's the whiteboard in my head has so many sticky marks and arrows and like
Yeah, insert
it's
the meme of the
wild.
guy like pointing to the like
Yes.
wall behind him with like all of
Yeah.
the, yeah, like very conspiracy theory, right?
Yeah.
Like,
100%. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and also like how many jobs out there like is a lot of what you're doing not just internal but has to stay internal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like there's
that's a
not a
really
lot of
good
other
point.
jobs that have that.
No.
At least that I can think of.
No. I think I've even told people like our job is so extremely vulnerable too. Like not that we're going around saying things, but like we have to internalize a lot and it is a huge impact on our bodies and our minds and our like mental capacities because we are like taking in so much and taking in so much sensitive information that it leaves us vulnerable after work or when our tanks are empty. Like it's a pretty vulnerable position.
Yeah. It's weird. Okay, what were you gonna say that was weird?
I
Or did
was
we already talk about?
No, I was gonna say like sometimes I really just want to be friends with my clients.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I won't because I have very good boundaries on that. But
Yeah,
sometimes
same.
every once in a while a client will come in and will like all I want to do is just shoot the shit with you. Like all I want to do is sit there and be like we would be friends outside of this. And that's honestly can be really really hard in comparison to the ones that like I don't have that. Like that's almost the hardest.
Yeah, it really is. I remember the first time I met with the last therapist I worked with. After our first session, I get into the second session, and I was just like, what the hell? And she was like, what? And I was like, we have so much life crossover, but now that I met with you, I'll never be able to be friends with you. So, like, I'm, like, it's already, like, doomed. Not doomed, but I was just like, it's
Right.
like, this is already set how
Yeah.
it is. But, like, we had so much crossover.
I know.
I was like, man, I really like would have benefited of also having a friend with this kind of crossover.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like this sucks because like I can't not see you now. Like
I know.
even seeing you once, like that's it.
And I don't know if this is license by license. It might be, it might not be. But there's like that 7-year rule where it's like you can't have
I
a
think that's
relationship.
like technically code by code.
Is it
but
code by code? I couldn't remember
yeah.
if it was like ethical code or if
It's
it was
ethical
like law.
code, not
Yeah.
technically legal.
Because I think ours is like 7 years and then
But
you can
even
like
then,
be
like,
friends. But I'm
but
like,
even
I'm
then,
not.
well, yeah, like what?
No,
What?
7 years is a really long time, number one.
But
But
also
also
so
like,
arbitrary. Like what?
right?
7 years? Like why
Yeah.
7? Out of
I
all
don't
the
know.
yeah.
I don't know. I remember in school they like taught us that it's like after 7 years, then you can have sex with your ex client. I'm like, what? I don't think we should ever be allowed to do that. What?
Well, there's like this element where it's like, well, duh, like of course, like you shouldn't be doing that. But then most
Right.
of the misconduct in our field is doing
My
that.
gosh, that's for another episode.
Yeah,
But also, like, if you're waiting, whoa, excuse me.
Fresca, I get it.
If you're waiting 7 years to be a friend of your client or even to like have a relationship, whether it's physical or not, that is creepy.
But also, like, how would you initiate said friendship after 7 years?
That's why I'm saying it's creepy. That means you're like following them or you're like
Or
searching for them or thinking about them every year for 7 years.
yeah, or you like somehow organically like coming across them in 7 like
That
what?
would be so crazy if it was organic. And I feel like maybe that would be the exception to that. Still fucking weird. But
I
like
still wouldn't do it though.
no, it would be weird.
It would be weird because you're always going to know more about them than they know about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no way to go back from that.
No.
And how could you honestly tell me that you could be only a friend to that person and not slip into therapist.
Yeah.
Even if you hadn't seen or worked with them in 7 years. There's no freaking way that somebody could do that.
Right. Yeah. And that's one of the things, like, how media portrays therapists is that, like, after they end a relationship with, like, a client, that they can just, like, go be friends with them. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. Like,
I see, like, the two extremes. Either, like, they can go be friends or, like, they don't care.
Yeah.
And they, like, move on. It's, like, business as usual.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a job hazard. But I, by no means would I say it's business as usual. Like, it sucks every time.
Yeah.
It's bittersweet every time.
Every single time. Yeah.
No matter, like, the context, you're just like, oh, man, like, this sucks.
Even an ending that it's like, oh my gosh, thank goodness I'm, like, letting go of this client. It's still weird. Like, it's still, like...
Yeah, because it's the weirdest goodbye you're ever going to have. It's because it's a forever goodbye.
Yeah.
When you're technically both still living. That's usually, like, even, like, when you break up with people that you don't even think that. You know what I mean? Or, like, move away from an area, or, like... It's not, like, you don't think that it would be a forever, even if it, like, ends up being that way. Right. But you don't, when you say goodbye, you don't think that that's what it is.
Correct.
So that's why it's so flipping weird.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
We have one of the weirdest careers, I think. Like, yeah, there's some weird careers out there.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know if there's anything that compares to this.
Yeah. We're just special little unicorns out in pasture. And
you know what? I love that.
I mean, I do too. I love what I do. You love what you do.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
for
that's
sure.
the best. But it's weird. It's weird sometimes. There are things that, like, we have to think about that, like, people in other jobs just, like, categorically don't have to think about.
No, not at all. And sometimes we have to make calls, too, that are really hard. Not, like, phone calls, but, like, sometimes we have to make a call about a client that's, like, this doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
And we try to do the best that we can to make that the best outcome. And sometimes it's just not. And it's a hard job.
It's a hard job.
Yeah.
I try just, like I said, I just try to lean into the mystery. Like, I'm just, like, actually kind of a spy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's full espionage.
Well, if you think about it, too, like, we do have to have encryptions and log it, like, double service login situation. Everything's got to be locked up and shredded. And yeah. Oh, yeah, I like this. Therapist equals spy.
Yeah. Ooh, title of the episode, Therapist Spy.
It was also, like, new merch idea.
Okay, also, we can talk about this in the Rabbit Trail episode, but we have been coming up with a lot of different merch ideas over the last, like, just a week.
I know.
Alone.
I know. We've been cranking them. So.
Yeah, the creative juices are flowing. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in and kind of going on this journey with us and thinking, maybe for the first time, or maybe again, about how weird it is to be a therapist, or what your therapist might be thinking.
Yeah.
It's
weird
out there,
like,
y'all.
we have weird jobs, and hopefully this normalizes it a little bit for people. But it's weird.
We're just doing our part. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're letting people in, like, the spy world for sure.
Yeah.
But follow along, like, comment, subscribe, ask questions, engage with us. Let us know if there are things that are on your mind that you want us to talk about or weigh in on.
Yeah.
We love giving our opinion extremely freely. And please give yours.
If you're a therapist and you have other reasons why being a therapist is weird, let us know. Leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
Like, give us some ideas or other things to talk about too. We'd love to see what people are curious about the field, about specific things in the field, whatever comes up. Let us know.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, we will catch all of you in the next one.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
This podcast is for entertainment, informational, and educational purposes only. Although the hosts are licensed therapists, this podcast is not a substitute for professional mental health services. Listening to this podcast does not create a therapist-client relationship.
If you are experiencing mental health concerns, please seek help from a qualified mental health professional in your area. If you are in crisis, call or text a suicide prevention line in your country immediately. In the U.S., you can call or text 988 or use online chat at 988lifeline.org.